Hey everyone, welcome to the product rule video. And product rule is something. Well, if you didn't really know, okay, it's product rule with regard to derivatives. Okay, so the whole point of product rules is that it can help us simplify our derivative finding life a lot. So we're gonna use this property. So product rule may sound intimidating, but basically I'm just gonna call this PR instead of writing that whole word down every time I want to write it down. So product rule can be used if, let's say your function, you have some function f of x or y, and let's say it's a combination of two other products. Okay, so we can say f of x is a combination of um, g of x multiplied by h of x. So what this basically means is, this may look like a weird, confusing notation, but basically, all this really means is that in its factored out form, if you're given a factored out form, or any form, the function f of x can be broken down into a product of two other functions. Okay, so one of these examples is x minus 4 times x plus 4. Okay, now you have the option of like just doing a like a foiling method, and then getting x squared, right? And then plus 4x minus 4x minus 16 in the end. The plus 4x and the minus 4x cancel out, and you're left with x squared minus 16. And now you take the derivative of f of x normally, okay, like a polynomial derivative form. But the thing is, this was a simple example. You had the option of just quickly multiplying through, okay? But what if you had you had like a really complicated term, okay? Instead of just x minus 4 times x plus 4, what if you had something like x squared plus 6x plus 10, and then to that you have x to the 3 halves minus 10 x to the 100. And you have something like this, it's gonna be really hard for you to keep track of every foiling thing that you're doing, and so it's just not recommended, right? It's better if you just use the product rule to make your life simpler. So what is the product rule? Okay, so what would be the derivative of this thing over here? So derivative of two products, okay, it's basically you take the first one and just keep it as is. Keep the product like as is. Then you ignore this first term over here, g of x, and you take the derivative of the h of x. So this will be h prime of x. You add that to the derivative of the first term, g prime of x, and then you multiply that by the h of x. You do nothing to that. Okay, so pretty simple enough, right? And I mean, you could, unless if your teacher is like really attentive about where you put the h of x and g of x, it's not gonna really matter. You know, the basic thing is it's the sum of basically the first term will be, you keep the first term by itself, take the derivative of the second one, multiply them together. You add that to the derivative of the first term times the second term by itself. Okay, so I'm not going to do a really super complicated example, but let's just say I have something like f of x is equal to 3x plus 10x squared. Yeah, I know these are in the wrong order. I mean, 10x squared would come first, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to illustrate a point over here. And then I'll say 2x minus square root of x. So if this is my function, what is f prime of x using the product rule? So f prime of x is, I keep the first function, 3x plus 10x squared, multiply that by the derivative of the second one. The derivative of the second one is a normal polynomial, right? So what's the derivative of the first term? 2x is just 2. Keep the minus. What's the derivative of the square root of x? On a side note over here, square root of x is the same thing as saying x to the 1 half. Derivative of x to the 1 half is 1 half x to the negative 1 half. We've done this already. Okay, so I'm just going to write 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. And then I'm going to add it. Add it to what? Well, I'm going to keep the second term as is. So 2x minus square root of x. To that, I'm going to multiply the derivative of the first term. So the derivative of the first term is a polynomial by itself. What's the derivative of 3x? It's just 3. Keep the plus. The derivative of 10x squared. I'm just going to write it down straight. So 20x. Okay? So this right here, this whole thing right here, that's my answer. Okay? Now, how, this is a generalization, okay? But you probably won't need to do it. But, you know, if you wanted to, or if you're just wondering, if I have f of x, and that's equal to g of x times h of x times k of x. Okay, what if it's three products? Then it's just the same logic going on. Okay, the derivative of that would be you take the derivative of the first one, g prime of x, and then the other two products you just keep the same. So h of x, k of x. To that you keep the first one the same, g of x, take the derivative of the second one, h prime of x, and keep the third one the same, k of x. And then lastly you keep the first two terms the same, so g of x times h of x, and then you take the derivative of the last one, so k prime of x. Okay, so that's kind of it for this video. And I'm not gonna do an example where I'm just gonna overcomplicate your life. But the thing is, if you needed to find a prime of x for this function right here, okay? But the thing is, you will have to take the derivative of this whole purple box, the answer. The derivative of the derivative will give you a prime of x. And the way you do that is you pretty much break it up into two different things. This right here will be a product rule by itself, and to that you're going to add the product rule of these two products over here. Okay, so that's just like a cool exercise for you if you want to do it. Sometimes you won't need to do it, but you know, depends on your teacher. And yeah, this right here, this is a generalization of a product rule into three products. And sure, I mean, if you want to, you can figure out what if I have four products, what if I have five products. But generally, most of the times, 99% of the times, you're only gonna deal with two products. So this will be like a 99% of the times case. You know, if you have three products, then you know, just use this formula, or what you can do is multiply any two of three products together, and then now you have a product rule with only two products left. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it. Good luck. See you the next time.